Hello again, it's me, your instructor for HS 402. I wanted to take some time to talk with you today about some upcoming assignments and just to kind of address some concerns that I've been hearing from some of you. So, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is your phase one paper. You are in the process, hopefully, of finishing up your final touches on that to turn in your final. The final phase one paper on Friday. So, a question that's been coming up to me from a lot of folks is that they're confused about what exactly is a discipline. So some of you are choosing areas like human resource development or education or business. Those are actually more occupations or career fields. They're interdisciplinary in themselves. So those are not a discipline. You want to make sure that you are choosing disciplines that are outlined in our textbook. So the textbook should be becoming your best friend, hopefully. Here it is. I'm going to point out a couple things in the textbook, and hopefully it will help you to remember what we're looking at. So specifically, you want to spend a lot of time looking at chapter 5, and on page 93, if this looks familiar, sorry, I know that this is not the best, but at least it can jog your memory a bit. This is the list of academic disciplines. So you can see the three categories and then the disciplines that are part of each category. So when you're choosing which two disciplines you plan to focus on for your literature review section of this paper, you can choose any two disciplines from this list that you feel are going to be relevant, that you want to look to the experts for. And it is okay if they're in the same category. Okay? And as you go on in the chapter, notice that there are several charts in there, like this one. This is looking at the epistemology. So you want to be really familiar with this. Number one, this is helpful just for you to understand the discipline and where it's coming from. But when you move forward into the literature review, you're going to be spending a lot of time discussing in depth what the discipline is and their overall perspective, their epistemology, their assumptions, research methods. You're going to get all of that from those charts here in chapter 5. Okay, so chapter 5 is a real important chapter to make sure that you understand things. Another chapter that may be helpful, I'm thinking, for finishing up your phase 1, if you want to look ahead and look at chapter 11. I know that's a bit ahead in our reading schedule, but chapter 11, that chapter is titled Identifying Relevant Disciplines. And so that may be helpful in helping you to choose the correct disciplines to look at for your paper. Okay, so that's the research paper. Remember, it should be written very professionally and with a title page and reference page in APA format, 3 to 4 pages of content. Okay. So then the next piece of business is looking at the outline and annotated bibliography, which is due on Monday. So Monday is the purpose of Monday's assignment is to really help to prepare you for writing the literature review, which is also called phase 2. The literature review section of the research paper tends to be the most challenging for most students. So this assignment is meant to help to prepare you for that. In order to write the assignment that's due on Monday, you have to have done your research. So you should be spending your time this week really focusing on doing some really good research. You need to identify 6 scholarly peer-reviewed articles that are directly related to the social issue that you are writing about. 3 articles from each discipline. So, for example, if my disciplines are biology and psychology, I want to have 3 scholarly peer-reviewed articles written by folks in psychology and 3 scholarly peer-reviewed articles written by folks in biology. Okay, if you're having a hard time finding scholarly articles, number 1, I would suggest using the Kresge Library. So use the Kresge Library website. You can search in there. They even have an option that you can click a box to just look for only scholarly peer reviewed. If you're still having a hard time, I would definitely encourage you to go into the library. The librarians are there to help you with research. So they will literally sit down with you and go over your research and they'll help you. So I can't tell you how helpful that can be. And they are there all the time. Okay? So make sure that you get the help that you need with that. When you do your annotated bibliography, what you need to do for that is just write out the source the way that it will appear on your reference page. So you want to write that in APA format, and then identify what discipline that article is representing. So you can just write, biology, psychology, economics, English, whatever discipline you have selected for that, and then include a 1 to 2 paragraph summary of what the article is about. Okay, so you'll do that for six different sources. So just a recap of that, what you want to do there for the annotated bibliography, that's going to include your 6 scholarly peer-reviewed articles that are serving as your 6 sources for the literature review. You should list each one in APA format, identify what discipline it's representing, and then give a 1 to 2 paragraph summary of what was written in the article. Okay, the second half of the assignment is the research literature review outline. So the outline, I provided for you in Moodle a sample outline. I literally want you to use what I've written there and just replace my information with yours. So you want to follow the exact same format that I have there. It covers phases 1 and 2, so it's the proposal and the literature review. Since when you turn in your literature review, it's going to also include the proposal that you're working on now. In there, it should be short, so only 1 page for the outline, 1.5 tops. Most of you should probably complete it in 1 page. It's meant to be very brief. The purpose of the outline is to help you to get organized and understand the order and structure that your paper should be written in, so that when you go to write your literature review, you know the correct order to be writing in. You will just include about 1 sentence per bullet point, maybe 2 sentences. So 1 to 2 sentences per bullet point, and that's it. Every semester, I have a student that will get confused with the outline, and instead of doing the simple outline, which helps to prepare them for writing the literature review, they write the entire literature review. So that assignment is coming, but this is a separate assignment that I want to make sure that you understand how to do the outline. And I'll send you an example of one of those in my blog post that will be a kind of a written explanation of everything that I just talked about. Okay, so again, just to recap the outline piece should be about 1 page. Use the sample outline that I provided for you in Moodle and just replace my information with yours. So the purpose of that is to help you to understand the structure and the order that your paper should be following. Okay, hopefully service learning is going well. We're getting close to the halfway point of the semester already. So you should be getting close to being, about halfway done with your hours, at least by the end of this week. And we'll be meeting in person on Tuesday. So I'm going to be seeing you in person, and we'll talk more about the literature review then as well. So I hope that you all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.